Steals. And Bonds hits one high. It's a deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks Lads. Joined, as always, every Sunday with my guys, Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson.
Yes, sir.
Swerving, Irving, Washington.
Yo.
The first Sunday without football.
I say a little bit better of a mood today than I was last week. And Jordan's a little more sober than he was last week. So
A lot more sober, yes. The first Sunday without football always hits a little funny. But we had NBA All-Star Weekend to keep us a little captivated, I suppose. UFC 298 last night.
Yep.
And it was a wild Saturday, man. Wild fucking Saturday. Basically every public favorite hit in college basketball except for two. And then in UFC, all the favorites went 1-11. 11-1 on UFC last night.
Yep.
So, I mean, the books must have got fucking crushed yesterday, dude.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely destroyed. But guess what? Our doors were open today for business.
Actually, I took a lot of the books' money on UFC yesterday, so.
Did you?
That's fine.
There you go.
I think we were 4-2, so not a lot of money, but
yeah. I mean, if you just fucking basically took all the favorites, you had yourself a good day. I mean, it doesn't get much harder than that. You know?
We got the one dog. We got one over. And I think two favorites.
Nice. When I saw the favorites were 11-0, I immediately bet Buddy that was facing Volkanovski.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, there's no way the favorites go 12-0, dude. It's not gonna happen. Sure enough, he cashed, which was nice. Yeah. So crazy day, crazy weekend. Felt a little different, which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about NBA All-Star Weekend. But how we doing tonight, fellas? How we doing this weekend? This week?
Doing good.
Nice. Ben?
I got work tomorrow, so I'm doing real good.
There you go. Fucking weekend warrior over here.
Always.
We are being brought to you by the Sharps app, SHARPZ. Make sure to download it. Track your bets, become a better. Use promo code Jord517. It's free to download. Yes. What were you going to say, Ben? Sorry, I interrupted you. He doesn't remember.
I don't remember.
Bro, that was like,
I am on.
15
I
seconds
am watching
ago.
the chat for Twitch. So if anybody is watching us there,
yes,
I'll keep an eye on that and
say what's
bring
up.
that to
Give us your thoughts on NBA All-Star Weekend. What did you like about it? What did you hate? Because I'm not gonna lie, man. Like NBA All-Star Weekend used to be like one of my favorite times of year, and it just doesn't hit the same anymore, dude. And like I watched the Celebrity All-Star Game. And it's like a bunch of fucking people. I have no idea who these fucking people are. Like we were talking before, Kai Senat. Like, who the fuck is this guy, dude?
Yeah.
There was
like a Twitch guy.
Yeah, we looked at, but I mean, like, dude, it's like a lot of people that. I mean, I guess the youth. I suppose they fucking know who these people are, obviously, but I don't know. Like back in my day, dude, we used to get like musicians. Actors, other athletes.
Some of those people are old now and they can't play in the celebrity game.
Yeah,
I know.
they
But what
still
about
had some of those.
what about musicians now and actors now?
Who didn't they have like what 21 Savage and all them didn't play in it this year? J. Cole, all those guys.
Nah, it was the best players was Puka Nakua and fucking C.J. Stroud and Micah Parsons.
Mm.
Well, that means that the other guys aren't interested in it. Can you blame them? Who wants to go to cold ass Indianapolis?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would. I
Yeah, as
don't
a
know. It's
fan.
just it's the whole weekend is just different now, dude. Like I said before, it was like something I look forward to every year. Like every Saturday, we would go to someone's house, order fucking pizza. When I was a kid and like watch dunk contests, 3-point contests, like All Star Saturday night. And like last night, I'm watching this shit and it was trash, bro. Like the 3-point contest, I guess was okay, but it's like the rules are so fucking complicated now. No one knows how the fuck they fucking score it, dude. Like a money ball rack. I mean, someone I forget who the player was. They got eliminated, had more points, had more actual 3-pointers made than somebody else, but because they didn't hit all the money balls, they got eliminated. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, it's hella comp. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, what the fuck is this? In the dunk contest was a fucking joke. You got Jaylen Brown jumping over a fucking 5'2" guy sitting in a chair. Mac McClung, dude, who's not even an NBA player.
That's what I was gonna bring up too. Yeah.
Jacob Toppin, who's Obi Toppin's little brother. He's a G leaguer. I mean, it's just like, dude, what are we doing, dude? Like, if no one wants to compete in the dunk contest, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or bring in professional dunkers and let them compete.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
So,
even then, I don't know how like interested people would be, dude, if NBA players aren't in it. You know what I mean? I think that's like last good dunk contest we had was 2016 when Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine went off in Toronto, and like
Okay, so that means you should have the pros versus the professional dunkers and see how that works out.
yeah, but the pros wouldn't want to do that because it's a lose-lose situation. If they lose, they're a laughing stock, and if they win, you're supposed to win.
Well, you got to do something because what they doing now ain't cutting it.
It's definitely not
Nobody's watching
working.
it like that.
But I mean, how do you fix
Come
it,
up
dude?
with no
Because
ideas.
Jaylen Brown is like the biggest name to do the dunk contest in a while, and everyone's saying like, oh well, LeBron because he never did it, he's giving all these people a pass and shit. It's like, bro, LeBron was set up for failure for a dunk contest to begin with when he first stepped in the league because the same thing against you were talking about pro dunkers versus Joe dunkers is like if LeBron wins a dunk contest, okay, you're supposed to win, dude. You're LeBron. If he loses, it's like, look at you, bro. You fucking lost, dude. You suck. It's a lose
No,
lose
it's just the fact
situation.
that they wanted him to do it. Like even when Zion first came into the league, he was going to entertain it. I think he would have did it, but he started getting hurt. But maybe if a marquee name or two do it, maybe that'll bring back some flair to it. But you got to have people in there that actually going to do some dunks that what somebody would like to see because only Matt McClung did some dunks that was like innovative. The rest of the
the
shit was just shit we've seen before.
yeah. How many times a year do we see somebody jump over the back of another fucking player? And like this year it was Shaq that they were jumping over. The year before it was I think like Tatum.
Yeah, but I'm not
But
gonna lie, dude. I think Jaime Hawkins' dunk over Shaq might have been the best dunk of the night.
yeah.
you know,
I liked McClung's little alley oop drop to himself. That
yeah,
was pretty sick.
that was
But
all right.
Yeah, his first dunk was definitely a 50. I don't know how the hell that wasn't a 50.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But as far as like All Star Weekend is concerned, dude, it just doesn't have the same luster as it once did. It's just different. It's a different vibe. Even on the sidelines, like before, you would always have all the fucking All Stars on the sidelines for All Star Saturday night. Their video cameras and shit. I don't even think any of them were there last night. I know there was a few people there, but most of them weren't there.
Yeah.
LeBron was watching Bronny play probably.
I think the location has something to do with it too.
Where was it last year?
Wasn't it Atlanta?
No, I was in Salt Lake City last year.
Mm.
Last year
That's
was trash
pretty
too. I am glad that they brought the East versus West back. But clearly the players didn't care. The fucking final score is 211 to 186.
Yeah. You're what 397 points? Fucking
I mean,
insane.
brother, neither team was really playing defense. Just the West couldn't fucking make it 3 to save their lives.
Yeah.
And the East just couldn't fucking miss, dude. They were Damon, Tyrese Halliburton just going off, man. It was insane. So I mean, I don't know how you fix it if you're Sterling, man.
See, but you look at all of the sports, and it's pretty much the only big all-star game antics is the home run derby.
I think that Major League Baseball All-Star game, I think is the best All-Star game there is. Like,
yeah,
and part of it's because you have like the elite pitchers wanting to get the elite hitters out, and like they only pitch like an inning, so like they can go out there and throw. You know what I mean? Like they're not taking it easy.
Yeah, and it still means something. Like winner
Kinda.
gets home field advantage in the.
Nah, not anymore.
No.
Nah, it hasn't been that way for like 3 or 4 years.
No way.
Yeah. I stopped doing that because it was like unfair advantage.
Why?
Because
You
one
could
team
have a
actually-
wild card team with home field advantage in the World Series.
yeah. Because the American League would win they won the All-Star game for like 9 years straight, dude.
Yeah.
Now that there's a DH in both leagues, it's changed a little bit, but yeah, they had to stop doing it. What was the World Series? There was a World Series where like I forget what World Series it was. Was it the Dodgers and Astros?
Nah, both of them. Well, the Dodgers had home field advantage because they had the better record.
So that's when it changed. There was a year where they changed it because the team that was in one of the teams that was in the World Series had like a significantly worse record than regular season record than the American League team.
Was it the Rockies? Because I know they had a terrible record when they made it.
Or no, it was I'm sorry, flip. It was the American League team had a worse record than the National League team, and the American League team had the home field advantage because the American League won the World Series, and that was when they like changed that shit.
2016 was the last year.
Was the last year? Who was in the World Series that year? That was 2016 was
The Dodgers was 2017, so that had to be the Cubs.
Cubs and
Guardians. Yeah, and that was the year the Guardians won like fucking 28 games in a row or some shit.
Yeah.
The Cubs were 103 and 58. The Guardians were 94 and 67.
Yeah, and the Guardians had home field advantage.
Yeah.
Because that was the year they changed it.
Yep. Huh. I've been going on the last 6 years thinking that it was still like that.
Yeah, no, they changed that shit. But nonetheless, I mean, the MLB All-Star Game is still like the only competitive All-Star Game of all the major sports that we have.
Yeah, and even the weekend, and strictly because of the home run derby. That
What?
still is basically the only skills competition now that's left that is a big draw. Because we don't have it in the dunk contest anymore. It's not for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
At
but I
least.
still think maybe not this year as much, but like people watch the 3-point contest, especially that year where it was like Steph, Clay, JJ Redick, Koiver, like you had all these like legendary 3-point shooters, like people tuned in to watch that shit. Like I still think there's a draw for NBA All-Star Weekend. I just think they've like got completely like they tried to do too much.
Yeah. I don't even know how much of a draw there is anymore,
Yeah, I mean it's just
to be honest.
Well, I think a big part of it too is like the NBA's product, dude, as like a whole. Like I'm talking, not even All Star, is just like it's so bad now, dude. And like I love basketball, bro. Like I grew up like idolizing the NBA, bro. Like the NBA was like my favorite thing, dude. Like grew up watching Mike battle, fucking Shaq in Orlando and Penny Hardaway and that was my era, dude. And like now,
Well, that's part of the problem. All the players we grew up on are not there no more. LeBron is the last one left.
But the product isn't the same, or like I'm talking the whole NBA season, dude. Like, don't get me wrong, dude. The NBA talent, this is probably the most talented generation of NBA ever.
Yeah, but they play a certain way. There's no more mid range. Fundamentals is basically
But
it's
it's not even that. It's
open
that the
game.
regular season doesn't mean anything really. Like back in the day, they would play every fucking game hella hard, like it was Game 7 of the NBA playoffs. Now, they don't do that. There's nights where they will, but it's 82 games, bro. Like it's a long fucking season, and like as we've, basically the Spurs revolutionized it. They were basically like, look, dude, you only need to play like 62 games or so serious, get into the playoffs, and then
secure a
fucking.
playoff spot. Well, that means they gotta shorten the season.
But the owners will never do that.
Yeah, that's a lot less money in their pockets.
Yeah.
But I think the product overall of the NBA has filtered down into the All-Star weekend, and now it's like, it's just all trash. It's like Scott Van Pelt tweeted out today during the game, like, if you don't care, we don't care. That's how it felt watching that game, dude. It was just like, both teams were just jacking up threes. The East hit more, and they win the game. Neither team really fucking tried on defense at all. They basically didn't try. I don't know, man. I don't know how to fix it. If I did, I wouldn't be giving out the secret. Anyways, they need to come hire me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the easy answer to the NBA's problem is less games, but they can't do that.
Jesus Christ. 167 3-pointers shot today.
Yeah. Yep.
67 of them made it.
Which is an incredible percentage, by the
way. Let's see. The West hit 35%. The East hit 43%.
Yep. But they put in the in-season tournament this year. That shit no one took. I mean, everyone, like, the teams I felt took it serious, but then after the Lakers won, you kind of seen, like, everyone clowning it, which we all knew was going to happen.
No.
Like, no one's going to take the in-season tournament championship serious. Like, the concept was a good idea, but the execution, I don't know if it's really... I don't know.
And as a casual fan, too, like, the only way I knew whether it was an in-season tournament game or not was the
court,
the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even then it was just like well, does this mean anything? Does it not mean anything? Yes, it works for their overall standings or their overall record, but then I didn't get, well, if some teams are out, but other teams are in, is one team going to have more games, or like, how is that going to work?
No, only one team plays more games, and that was Indianapolis and the Lakers, who play one more game than everybody else this season.
Yeah. But yeah, as a casual fan, it was very weird.
Yeah, and I think maybe next year will be a little bit better. Who knows, dude? Who knows how it's gonna go? But I don't know. It was just weird to me. Strange fucking concept, and but again, it's new, so it's gonna be strange, whatever, regardless. But yeah, man, Adam Silver, he's got to figure it out, man. He's definitely got to figure out the NBA's issue, because I definitely feel like the NBA is losing fans, and they're not garnering a lot of the younger fans. What was it? On Christmas Day, remember the NBA? That NBA usually owns Christmas Day, but this year the NFL had 3 games on. In those 3 games, one game, just the Niners and Ravens game, had more viewers than all the NBA games combined that day.
Yeah.
So like the NBA is losing its fan base. They're losing fans by the day.
Well, is it? Or it's just the NFL reigns supreme. We all know the NFL reigns supreme, and if your team's playing,
yeah, but people watch the NFL whether it's their team or not.
Yeah,
because there's only 17 games.
Yeah,
so every game matters, and then fantasy football is huge.
Yeah, but again, like if you own Christmas Day, then yeah, everybody's going to be watching basketball. But if you don't own it, yes, the bigger sport is going to reign supreme.
Yeah, because usually the NBA is the only thing on Christmas. It
Yeah.
just so happened that Christmas the last 2 years fell on Sunday and Monday. Monday this year, last year, Sunday the year before. So that's why there was, and now next year it falls on a Tuesday. Will there be an NFL game? Probably not. So the NBA is going to have that entire day. But the point is like Christmas is supposed to be that day for the NBA, and it's like the 2 years where the NFL shared the day with you, your ratings were crushed by the NFL.
Yeah.
Which tells you that basically people only watch the NBA on Christmas because it's the only fucking sport on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not because they want to watch the NBA. And obviously there's diehard fans of the NBA like that will watch the NBA, but you're not going after that diehard fan. You're trying to go after that casual fan. Like you need that casual fan. And the NFL has captured that casual fan.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball lost that casual fan. Major League Baseball used to be the most popular sport in America. Now it's not. So it's like, if Major League Baseball has done a much better job though of like garnering attention in the summer and throughout the spring and in the fall. Like their ratings were up the last 2 years. NBA's is declining year in year.
Well, but again, they don't play the same time as football. You have a little bit of overlap within baseball.
Sure, but I mean,
like a month or two.
But still,
baseball
I mean,
and
people
hockey
used to like not even pay
basketball?
attention to baseball at all then.
Yeah.
And now their ratings are continuing to grow. You know, so it's like, how does the NBA kind of capture that? Because the NBA usually does well once the NFL season's over, obviously. That's when people start to tune into the NBA a little bit more.
Mhm.
But they still have lost. Like last year's finals was the lowest rated finals in like league history.
Well, the teams that played had something to do with that too, though.
Sure. But again, you got to capture that casual fan.
It's kind of hard to capture a casual fan with Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
I mean, I get it, like, but you can't have the Lakers and Celtics in there every fucking year.
Yeah, I get it, but depending on who makes it to the big dance is always going to affect the ratings. Of course, even look at the World Series, when a bigger market team makes it, it gets watched more. Shit, I remember when Kansas City and the Giants made it. It was a hell of a World Series, but it was one of the least watched World Series ever.
Yeah, but that was during a time when baseball ratings were just down in general.
But it was still terrible. But the ratings was terrible. The baseball being played was great.
I mean,
But
last year
that's
was
just
the
how it is.
Rangers.
Big markets usually drive the big market teams drive the ratings in the market, and then of course it's worth a lot more when they do make it to the big stage. But it just depends on the sport. And then on top of that, NBA has to contend with March Madness for a whole month.
Yeah, March Madness is only 4 days. The 4 days, the first 2 weeks, and then it's only the weekend after that.
But it's still a whole month, and the whole country is glued in on that.
Yep. So, March Madness has more viewers than the Super Bowl, but there's also a lot more games.
Yeah.
It's a bad comparison.
Well, I'm just saying it's the single biggest like postseason ratings wise of every sport in America.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me there without as many teams as there are, and for how long as it goes.
And it touches every corner, every state pretty much.
Yep. The brackets, everyone fucking fills out a bracket. Even my mom fills out a bracket. She don't even fucking watch college basketball. You know what I mean? Like everybody does it, and then everyone tunes in.
Yeah,
for the whole month. But that's the thing that the NBA got to figure out, dude. And I just think they've lost touch with the casual viewers, man. Like they've absolutely lost touch, and I think a big part of it, dude, was like the bubble was probably the worst thing to happen to the NBA, dude. I think the bubble turned a lot of people, a lot of casual viewers off because you had the whole like a lot of political messages, and regardless of what people think of it, I think people were just like, dude, like I don't need politics. I just want to watch fucking basketball. And I think that was a big turning point of the NBA viewers getting turned off, at least the casual viewer.
Well, they were the first ones to do it, right? Basketball was first, and then baseball started later.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And UFC was like, "Fuck it, we're fighting."
Yeah, UFC did not give a fuck, dude. They were like
Yeah,
the first
change
month, dude.
countries.
They were
Yep.
fucking.
We're going to fucking Dubai.
Hey,
Fucking Dubai.
Dana White's a smart businessman, dude. To be honest, you know now the UFC product's in the fucking toilet, but for those couple of years, dude, he definitely had the UFC cracking.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Adam Silver got to figure something out, man. He got to do something. He's ending up being like the worst commissioner of all the sports, dude.
Nah, Manfred's still around.
I was just about to say Manfred's up there.
Yeah,
Bettman's probably right. He's probably neck and neck with Silver.
But Manfred is, say what you want about the guy, but like, dude, baseball's becoming bigger under him.
Baseball has, but he fueled the decline that had already started when he got in, but he fueled that for a good few years.
I mean, dude, Ben, I think baseball since we were in high school has just been declining. I think the early 2000s was like the last like great hoorah of baseball. Like, where like more than like they had a lot more viewership than what they have now. And then the mid 2000s and 2010s and stuff, like ratings just plummeted.
Yeah. When did Manfred start?
I think he started like 2009.
Which was oh no, Bud Selig in 2015.
Yeah. So he like baseball had already been like had hit rock bottom by the time he took it over.
I mean, yes and no. He's had some really bad like decisions on the game, and I think they're finally
what's the worst thing he's done?
The power that he's given to the owners.
But they have a collective bargaining agreement, so it still has to be negotiated between the players union and the owners.
Yeah, but he's on the owner side though.
Yeah, he's on the owner
side. He
side.
Works for the owners.
Yeah, he's given the owners way too much power.
But that's the problem with Adam Silver is he's giving the players too much power. Now you got guys fucking signing contracts and then fucking asking for a trade a month later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Adam Silver has empowered the players too much where now it's a joke. And like I'm a player empowerment type dude. Like I like players having power, but like, bro, if you sign a contract, a 5-year contract, and you're asking to get traded a year later, like there's issues with that.
Yes and no. I mean, I think you can ask for a trade. You don't have to give them the trade.
Yeah, but a team like, dude, they're gonna trade you. They don't want an unhappy player sitting there fucking rotting their franchise.
But you also gotta look at the reason why he's asking being traded too, because the last player that did that was James Harden, and the management straight out lied to him. So can you blame him for him to get traded?
Yeah, but then a year, like not even a year before that, Kevin Durant asked to get traded after he asked to get traded right before that. It's like, dude, like what are we doing here at this juncture?
Well, then they start trading guys though.
That was before. Kevin Durant wanted out because he was tired of Kyrie always being hurt and James Harden being hurt. And then James Harden asked to be traded because he was tired of fucking Kyrie always being hurt. So they traded James Harden and then they traded KD.
Yeah, I think that goes back to more of the power of the player and how much emphasis they have over the game when it should be you lose it in the management. They don't have any power at all in basketball, I'd say.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a player-run league. And
Yeah.
David Sterling would never.
And I think you've got the complete opposite in baseball.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
you have teams who are cheating who didn't get anything but a slap on the wrist
who?
Under Manfred.
For who, the Astros?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, what do
you have players who are openly caught and they don't get any suspensions?
Caught with what?
The sign stealing?
Openly caught? How are they openly caught? The only reason why we found out about it is because what's his name? The pitcher for the A's that played for the Astros fucking was open about it and said, yeah, like they were filming. But the whole Altuve with the buzzer thing, that was never proven. Like, you can't prove that.
You have
him telling him not to rip off his jersey.
Yeah, but you can't prove that. Like,
it's just you have players who are saying this happened and there's nothing done about it. The cameras were out there.
That's because
TVs were out
Ben,
there.
That's not because the owners, dude. That's because
the garbage cans were.
The players aren't gonna get busted because, dude, and Major League Baseball Players Association is the best union in America of any workforce union. They're the best union ever. They're not gonna get suspended because the union's gonna fight back. They're gonna go to court.
Yeah, but Manfred still should have came down hard as he possibly could.
Yep.
But they knew that they were gonna sit there in court hearings for fucking a year while the players still got to play, and then nothing would have happened. Like, I'm telling you right now, dude, the players union's way too strong, dude. They're not gonna get suspended. That's why they fired the GM and the coach, because they're not in the players union. It's easy to do.
Yeah, but look what they did with C-League, what C-League did with the steroids. They had those while the players were playing, and the players were suspended, and the players
still get suspended for steroids because it's in the collective bargaining agreement.
Well, yeah, but he had that.
They didn't get suspended before. They didn't get suspended before it was in the collective bargaining agreement. It wasn't until the collective bargaining agreement had steroids in there that they got suspended.
Yeah, but they still went to the court cases. They still went through all of the prosecution of it.
That was because the Senate had a whole ass fucking Senate hearing on steroids. That's the only reason why steroids was put in the CBA. If it was Bud Selig's, if it was his decision, he would have never put steroids in there, because steroids is the reason why baseball hit its highest peak ever in the late 90s.
Agreed.
He didn't care about steroids.
But so is cheating the emphasis of the late
cheating 2010s? Has always been in baseball since the fucking early 1900s.
Yeah, but you don't get caught.
Dude,
these guys
baseball
got
polices
caught
baseball polices itself though. Baseball polices itself.
How did they police it?
Dude, because back in the day,
giving them a fucking
back in the day, if you would steal signs, they would fucking hit you. If you knew they were, because dude, they've been stealing signs since the history of signs, dude. There's a reason why.
That's fine, but nobody ever used trash cans and technology to take it to another level.
Yeah, but apparently
they thrown at them and beat them, and the fucking pitcher gets thrown out.
Yeah.
So then that is a double fucking edged sword right there.
You get a warning, then you get thrown out.
No, not anymore.
Got for 12 games for throwing that Correa.
Not anymore. The warnings are few and far between now.
But this is the thing, dude. I think as fans, we have completely overreacted to the Astros thing, because the Red Sox got caught cheating too. No one ever said anything about that, and there's been multiple
fucking hit on Manfred.
There's been multiple players that have said multiple teams have done it. Pretty much almost every team did it, and so I think we've overreacted. And the Astros were the first big team to get caught because they won the World Series.
You said the big word there. They got caught.
Well, because after that, they're not going to go through and be like, because the Red Sox got caught after that, and they didn't do anything to the Red Sox, because at that point it was like, whatever, like, this shit's been taken care of. Red Sox didn't even win a World Series, and that's why they brought in pitch comms, so no one can do it, because I'm pretty sure everybody was basically doing it. And that's according to multiple Major League Baseball players.
Yeah,
But they
it's
didn't get
always
caught.
gonna say everybody was doing it when somebody gets caught. I
Yeah.
don't believe that shit.
Everybody fucking steals, but the only people that get in trouble are the ones that get caught.
Yeah, but
Everybody lies. The only time that you get in trouble is when you get caught.
back to your original
And
point.
these guys got caught.
But back to your
and they
original
didn't do
point.
shit.
It's hard to come down on the players because their union's so strong. To your point of the steroids, it's easy to suspend a player for steroids because it's in the collective bargaining agreement that they can't take steroids. They can't take a certain drug. So if they get caught using them, the Players Association can't defend that player. Now, there's nothing in the
but in an unprecedented situation like that, Manfred has all the power to do what he wants. The owner wasn't going to put him down.
Yeah, but the Players Union can
okay,
go
you still got to appeal it. You still got to do all that. But at the end of the day, it would have been him setting that precedent.
Yeah, and then when
none
of the players
indefinitely.
Yeah, suspended indefinitely, then they appeal and they're allowed to play until their appeal goes through. And I'm telling you right now, dude, they would have never faced a single game of suspension, dude, because the Players Union would have just fucking hit them with litigation, and then Manfred looks like a fucking idiot.
He didn't take it that far, so we'll never know.
Because he would have.
He had plenty of evidence.
They would have. Yeah. Everyone would have said, "Oh man, he tried to come down." And I'm talking about other Major League Baseball players too, dude. They all play for the same union. I'm telling you right now, dude. You do not want that kind of situation happening amongst a union where you have players that are like, "Oh, well, they need to get suspended." Blah blah blah.
Most of the players were on the bandwagon of stripping out Altuve of his MVP, stripping the World Series, giving it to. You can't give it to the Dodgers. I wouldn't. The Dodgers probably wouldn't even accept it, but Altuve should at least been stripped of that MVP.
It's just so hard to prove, bro.
They had the evidence. How is it hard to prove?
What evidence did they have? Someone saying that it happened? He said, she said?
Read the report that said that even the Astros admitted to using the cameras in the trash cans.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they
admitted to it. That's why the GM got fired, and that's why
no players...
That stupid-ass manager got fired.
That's why... Well, they got suspended and then fired. But yeah.
Yeah, Major League Baseball had to suspend the whole fucking team because they were all in on it.
Yeah, but they would have just appealed and they would have been playing and nothing would have ever happened. Union too strong. Major League Baseball union very strong. Too strong. That's why they always have fucking holdouts every time we get to a CBA negotiation.
Every fucking time.
Every time. And it almost killed the sport in 92. You know what I mean? Like, that was the downfall of baseball, and then took fucking steroids to get it back up. And then it all came crashing down. Once steroids were illegalized, dude, the sport was never the same. Let them juice again. That's my theory.
No, because then they'd have to let Bonds into the Hall of Fame, and
he should be in the Hall of Fame regardless, dude. Everyone was
again.
Juicing.
I agree, but they don't think that way.
Everybody was juicing. The only reason why he juiced was because everybody else was, and he's like, dude, I got to juice to stay up, to keep pace.
And a few of them got caught, and that's why they got in trouble.
They didn't get in trouble though. They got blackballed. No one ever. All the people originally from this in the steroid case, Mark McGwire, Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, Rafael Palmeiro, they never faced any. Their only punishment was public punishment.
Well, and part of it was because they weren't using the substances on the banned list. They were using others. But
there was no banned list then, though, Ben. The banned list didn't come till after the Senate hearings. Steroids were never illegal in baseball until after those Senate hearings. There was never any banned substances other than, your methamphetamines, cocaine, marijuana, crack.
Tell Darryl Strawberry that.
Well, that's why Darryl Strawberry and Doc Gooden got suspended for using coke. but they never drug tested for steroids before that, before the Senate hearings. And the only reason why it happened was because remember that high school kid. Well, first Ken Caminiti died, and then the high school
Steroids
kid.
were on the banned list in '91.
But
testing did not begin until 2003.
They didn't test for it until the Senate hearings.
So they were on the banned substance list well before.
But
yeah,
they
but
didn't. They
you're
didn't
not
test for
testing
it.
for it, then that's
only
a no-show job that pays you not to show up.
Yeah. It took a kid dying and Ken Caminiti dying of steroids for the Senate hearings to happen, and that's when they started testing for it.
Ken Caminiti was a dog. I didn't know I thought he just died from a heart attack. I didn't know it was related to steroids.
Heart attack related to steroids, yo.
Damn.
Yeah, but it was that high school kid. Remember when that high school kid died from steroids? That's when like it brought national attention to steroid use and shit. Because everybody knew those MLB players were juicing in the 90s and shit.
Yeah, look at Jose Canseco.
Yeah. Like it was fucking common knowledge, bro. Like we knew it and we loved it, bro. We all sat there and fucking cheered on the dingers, dude. And then everyone turned a blind eye being like, oh my God, they're doing steroids? Jesus Christ, dude. Like, come on, man. You knew they were. They still are, bro. They just have ways of getting around it now. They're smarter. Oh, man. Looking forward to baseball.
The game is clean now. No more steroids.
Oh yeah.
Nah, they definitely use substances because dudes still get caught.
The Senate hearing was in 2005. They started testing in 2003.
Was the 2003 testing, was it was like, is it quote unquote testing? Because no one got popped until A-Rod got popped, and that was after the Senate hearing. Like, how did they choose to test before that? Does it say?
I don't know. I'll try to dig.
All right. Speaking of baseball, Kyle Bradish gets hurt first day of fucking pitchers and catchers reporting.
Well, before we get into actual baseball though, let's go back to Manfred.
Okay.
Because like, he's got 4 more years left.
Yep.
So he came out and said that in 29, when his contract is over, he's retiring.
Yep.
What does he have to do to make this a positive contract? Because right now, I think he's at the 50-50 mark where there's some good, but there's some bad. I personally lean towards the more bad than good because of where the state of baseball is. Yes, it is growing, like you've mentioned, but it was so far down.
I think first he has to figure out this A's situation. Like it's becoming a fucking joke, dude.
Yep.
He's got to figure it out. He has to step in and figure it out. And obviously he's going to lean with the owner, John Fisher, and if Fisher wants to be in Vegas, he's going to make sure that it happens and it gets done. But I mean, it's becoming such a fucking laughing ongoing joke, especially out here in Vegas, dude. Like, they want the Tropicana site. Fucking the Tropicana site is technically in Paradise, Nevada, so the Las Vegas governor is like, you know, or the mayor, whatever the fuck they're called, is like, we don't even want the A's here, blah blah blah. There's so much better sites, and you know, they should just stay in Oakland, because obviously, like, if they go to Paradise, Nevada, Las Vegas technically doesn't see the funds from it, you know what I mean? So he's got to figure it out, dude. Like, honestly, I'm to the point where, like, make it work in Oakland and then just get a fucking expansion team in Vegas, dude.
That's what I think he needs to do to make this official, is get an expansion to 32 teams.
Because Because
possibly
Portland is already, they got a fucking bunch of millionaires out there that are like already ready to develop a stadium out there.
Yep. Nashville's on that list. Oakland, Vegas,
Salt Lake City just made a big commitment too.
Yeah,
Salt Lake City.
too.
Like, I mean, you could put up to 36 teams. I mean, I know that they're not going to do it, but add one more to each division.
Ben, pitching was so bad last year. I don't know if we have
That's
enough.
true.
I don't know if we have enough starting pitchers to go around
that's
36 teams.
But at least 32. And I think the real big thing is going to be not only is the addition of 2 teams, but the realignment of the divisions, because that's a major shit show between the East Coast and West Coast, and the amount of travel that some teams have versus other teams. Because
I don't think it's as bad in baseball though, because I mean, like, Seattle's always going to have more travel than anyone because there's like no teams near them, And it's like it's way better than football, dude. Like, football has the Dallas Cowboys and the fucking Commanders and the Eagles in one division, dude. Like,
yeah, but there's 17 games versus 162.
Yeah. I don't think the alignment is all that bad.
I mean, I don't think it's that great.
Like the AL West, obviously you have like 2 Texas teams, and then you have Oakland, Angels, and Mariners, right? If your 2 expansion teams though are Vegas and Portland, then you could hella realign it to where it's truly like the AL West could be the Angels, Portland, Seattle, Vegas, and Oakland, right? And then you can move the Texas teams to the Central where they probably should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's and then what divisions do they go into? Do you have the Rockies in the Central, and Portland is an NL team, an AL team?
Yeah, you can move one of them to the NL and AL, split them up.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk.
About the Mariners, do they become an NL team or they stay AL?
Yeah, do the Mets and the Yankees play in the same division?
No, do not ruin history.
Oh, that's a lot of talk that's going on right now.
Like, it's almost like I don't want the Rangers to leave the AL West because the Rangers have been in the AL West forever.
Mm-hmm.
There's history there. But it's like, if you get a Portland team and a Vegas team, then it just makes more sense regionally to have those teams together and then put the Texas teams in a Central. But
and then who goes from who goes from the AL to the NL if they're both in?
I think you would put. Oh, fuck, dude, that's tough because you put maybe you move the Astros back to the NL,
or do you make Vegas a NL team and Portland AL team?
Yeah,
or Portland NL team and Vegas an AL team.
I mean, I'm gonna be quite frank, dude. The A's are moving to Vegas, bro. John Fisher wants nothing to do with the Bay Area. He wants nothing to do with Oakland.
Then you can't have an Oakland team being in the NL.
Well, I don't think Oakland's gonna have a team.
Yeah,
you're only gonna have the Giants in the Bay Area. That's it. Maybe eventually down the road, a team moves to Oakland, or Oakland becomes a expansion team. But I don't think. Like, I think the A's should stay in Oakland. That's my own personal opinion. I don't think they actually are, though.
And if you have Salt Lake, then you're probably going to be. Salt Lake is probably going to go to the AL because you've got Colorado and the NL.
Yeah.
And then with 16 teams in a league, you're going to go back to 4 divisions.
Yeah.
Because then you'd have 4 teams in a division.
I think that makes more sense.
5.
But the one thing is, too, though, for expansion teams, is there's multiple cities that want a team. Charlotte wants a team, Nashville wants a team, Portland wants a team, Salt Lake City wants a team, Vegas wants a team.
Yeah,
If
Montreal wants a team.
Montreal wants a team. So if
Yeah.
Vegas gets the A's, that eliminates Vegas. But
Yeah.
now you have basically like 2 expansion markets fighting over like 6 cities. So obviously it's going to go to who could build the park with the most public funds.
Mhm.
And then because they'll have more support, or I'm sorry, with private funds because they'll have the most support. So that's the biggest thing, and it's like Portland we already know is like working on something. I don't know if Salt Lake is. I'm not aware if they are or if Nashville is. I just know Nashville has interest. In a team, they have a AAA team already, and Nashville's like it's a growing city. But the only city I know that actually is like doing something is Portland. Like I know they have like things in the works.
Yeah. So from sources across the web, you have a whole shit ton of teams. Portland, Nashville, Montreal, Charlotte, Vegas, Mexico City, Vancouver, San Antonio, Salt Lake, Austin, San Juan, Indianapolis.
We don't need a team in Indianapolis. We can fucking take them off the list.
They definitely gonna be in the dome.
Yeah, but that's 12 teams right there. How much more international do you want to go? Do you want to go to Mexico City? Who would have to be in a dome too? Because they'd have to. Well, I guess Colorado's not in a dome. You've got a really high
altitude
there. But then would you want them? They'd have to be in the AL then, because you couldn't have 2 NL teams within the high altitude.
I mean, you could.
I
don't think Mexico City's getting a team anytime soon, though.
They've done the expansion, or not the expansion, the international games there with MLB teams.
But I just like they're gonna give it to 2 teams, because I mean every league has interest in Mexico City. NFL said they've looked into expansion there. NBA said the same thing. G League is actually getting a team in Mexico City in the next 4 or 5 years.
Nice.
But I don't think that it's feasible at this moment for Major League Baseball to put a team in Mexico City. There's not enough baseball talent, so we can really only expand to 2 teams. Dude, I'm telling you, bro, there's not enough pitching.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I took that differently. I thought you were saying that there isn't enough Major League Baseball talent in Mexico.
Yeah, no. There's not enough Major League Baseball talent at this current
to expand.
Expand that much. Like even expanding to 32 teams, I think is a fucking stretch, dude. Like you're gonna have 4 really fucking shitty teams, dude. Unless more people start to play baseball. I mean, dude, last year, remember how bad the bottom was last year? The A's were absolutely fucking atrocious.
Yeah, but you got to get some owners that want to spend.
Yeah, but at the same time, Ben, all these teams are not every team has good starting pitching. There's good starting pitching teams, and then there's a bunch of fucking mediocre starting pitching teams. There's just not a plethora of starters right now.
Yeah.
I definitely think you could fill a team with position players and bullpen guys, but I just don't think there's enough starting pitching to go around 32 teams. You're going to have 3 or 4 teams that just are really fucking bad. Really bad.
I think, we're going to have to, with this, we're going to need to put some sort of ceiling or something on the deferments of salaries, because then you're going to get teams.
Ben hates those deferred salaries, man.
Well, no, but I see this I see this being a bigger problem. I think
I mean,
LA has opened that door, that if we have even more teams and less talent to be spread around, you're going to get those LAs, those New Yorks, those teams with larger markets
Yeah,
that
they
are
can
just going to defer salaries, and then you are going to have an even bigger basement than the 4 teams that you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I just think in terms of the deferment, like what happens in 10 years if like the Dodgers are like just trash, dude, and then everyone's like, oh, you know, they shouldn't have deferred payments, but then it's like we stop the deferred payments, and it's like because it's the same thing with the NFL. Like the NFL, you can restructure to like create this like fake cap space, but eventually it catches up to you. Like with the Saints, they're $88 million over the cap now, so eventually it's going to catch up and hurt you. With the Dodgers thing, I totally get what you're saying, dude. Like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, like the big market teams can just be like, hey, we'll give you $700 million and we'll defer fucking 90% of it. So they can just like stack. But not every player wants deferred payments, right? We don't know. Well, we don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't.
I mean, I don't think you're telling me I can get 30 million over 10 years or I can get 15 million over 20 years.
Yeah, but I mean, like, maybe not every player. Like, every player is different, dude. Like, maybe some guys want it all fucking up front. You know, like, we just don't know. But I definitely think that, like, at some point, you're going to have to implicate a salary cap only for the purpose that, like, some of these teams could be so bad, dude, that they're just never competitive. You know what I mean? And I think that is an issue. But
I think
we don't know.
I'm more of thinking that you have to just put a percentage of a person's contract. Like they can't go over that amount deferred.
Like they can't defer like 50%
or 98%, like the Dodgers are doing.
It's actually not 98. It's like he's actually making like 40 million a year, like based on the cap.
Are you ever gonna let that contract go?
No, I think it's fucking cheap as shit.
He did.
I'm sorry, you're making $2 million when you're supposed to be making 70.
Oh, he's technically bullshit. He's only counting 2 million against the cap, but they're putting 40 million into escrow, so like technically it's 40 million against the cap.
Okay,
42.
Still okay. Yeah. Then we change that to no, but still he's only getting paid $2 million a fucking year.
But the team is paying more than that.
Yeah,
40. Yeah, and any team, if they could have had Shohei at 40 million, would have taken that and fucking run with it.
Yeah,
but because they have the money,
he would have gave the same deal to any team that he chose to sign with. It was his idea. The Dodgers didn't go to Shohei and be like, "Hey, man." The
Dodgers have the money to do that. Not every team has the money.
The Giants would have the money to do it too.
He literally went to the Angels and said, "This is what the Dodgers offered me. If you match it, I'll stay here." And they said no. Yeah. They said no. Like so, it's not like.
Well, he's a fucking idiot.
But anyone could match it. But I get what you're saying, dude, because it could get to a point where like one of these bigger teams has like 27 fucking salaries all deferred, and they're like only paying like $2 million to these players, and it's like
and Dodgers are up on 3, right?
They have a whole team of all-stars, and then you got fucking 6 teams just in the fucking absolute gutter, dude.
Well,
yeah, just wait for next year, and that's gonna be what we're seeing.
Nah, because Roki Sasaki gonna probably be a Dodger. He gonna do the internet. He doing an amateur free agent though.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's the great thing about baseball is that like you can pay whatever you want. It's a free market to some extent, and like I like that about baseball because not every team that pays the most money ends up winning.
Exactly. They still gotta go out there and play the game. You gotta stay healthy. You gotta survive 162 games, and if you get too hot, you flame out in the postseason. So,
and we've seen teams get really creative. You know, the Rays, the A's before with Moneyball, and they get creative to stay competitive, dude, without having the pockets of some of these teams. So, it's tough. I mean, with 32 teams, dude, like I said, dude, it could get really ugly where we have like just some really dog shit teams. I don't know how you.
As long as it ain't the Dodgers, I ain't tripping.
I don't think the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets.
Well, we had to suffer through Frank McCourt, so we us Dodger fans deserve everything we get that's coming to us.
Oh shit!
That motherfucker still owns the parking lot too. I wonder how much money he make a year just off parking.
Shit, probably hella, dude. That's probably why he didn't give it up. Shit's crazy.
Mhm.
But it'll be interesting, man, because we're definitely getting 2 more teams. I don't know when, but they're coming.
Yeah.
They're definitely coming. So we'll see what happens. But when's the next CBA? When's the next CBA negotiation? When's the CBA run up?
I think it's 2028 or 2027.
Because that's when they can like actually do it.
December 1st, 2026.
26.
Okay.
So that's when they can actually start talking expansion.
Mm.
So we'll see what happens. Because I definitely think that I think there's going to be a lot of salary stuff implemented. The thing with the salary cap, though, is like players don't like salary caps because then it caps what they can do. I think players absolutely want a salary floor, though, because that definitely increases players' salaries because the team has to spend money.
Yeah, and spending. Because right now you got a hell of a list of free agents that shouldn't be free agents right now.
Yeah. So I definitely think that the players are going to fight for a salary floor for sure.
Yeah, but I think part of the reason why they're free agents still is because they're asking for so much. Not that the teams won't spend, it's that they're asking for exorbitant amounts because Shohei got an exorbitant amount. Because
I think it's a little bit of that, Ben, but I also think that there's so much uncertainty regarding the TV deals right now because Diamond Sports Group, who owns Bally, which is basically the TV network for most of the teams. I know the Dodgers have their own. NBC Sports does both the A's and Giants, Phillies. They also do the White Sox. But a lot of these teams that, we think would spend money haven't, because like the Padres, for example, because they don't know what their TV deal is. They don't even know if they're going to have a TV deal. So you're talking 30 to $60 million from a TV deal that they don't even know if they're going to get this year. So that limits.
Well, didn't who just pop Bally though?
Well, Amazon has come in and said that they want
Amazon gonna save them.
Yeah, Amazon's gonna save them, but Amazon wants rights to stream every single baseball game.
Yep.
And the teams, the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, these teams that basically own their own TV markets, they don't want that shit.
Yeah.
Because people like Irvin in LA, they have to spend more money to watch a Dodgers game because the Dodgers own their fucking TV channel. And they don't want
and the crazy thing about Dodgers, they own Spectrum too. So
so if Amazon comes in and they're like, we'll save Diamond Sports Group, but we want the rights to stream every single game. Well, that cuts into the pockets of those teams like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, because now everybody that has Spectrum, and I don't know how much more do you guys have to pay out there for that sports channel?
Well, this depends on they included in the debate. It used to be like an extra $15-20, but now it's included in all the packages except for the basic one. So,
but now they wouldn't even need cable because they could just fucking download Amazon Prime and watch it.
Yeah, but I don't think Amazon gonna be able to get the Dodgers though. They'll probably get them when they're on national television.
But that's the thing. That's what Amazon wants.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, they're gonna have to look to revisit that. I don't think they're gonna get the Spectrum plays the Dodgers too much money a year.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, and honestly, like from a baseball fan like from our viewpoint, like it makes more sense for the Amazon thing because it's like, being here in Vegas, dude, I have 6 teams that are blacked out in my market that I can't watch. So for me, it's like I want that shit so I can watch every fucking team. Like there shouldn't be blackouts, dude. I can watch every fucking NHL game on ESPN Plus. Why the fuck can I not watch every baseball team?
And you get blacked out on MLB TV too, right?
Yeah. I can't watch the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Angels, the A's,
and the Giants.
I can't watch those 6 teams.
Yeah, the Dodgers not letting up. Spectrum pay their ass what? It's a 25-year deal and it's $8.5 billion.
Yeah,
so they make about.
But they need to think bigger picture. And I get what you're saying, and that's the holdup right now is the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets are the 3 big ones that like they don't want to let go of that shit because they own their own TV stations.
Same with Cubs in Chicago, right?
Yeah, Cubs too. WGN.
Yeah.
Because that would mean the Dodgers would have to split their TV money with everybody else.
Yeah, but the other thing they have to consider too is that it's more eyes watching their games.
They don't give a fuck about that. If Spectrum's paying them damn near $360 million a year, they
Well,
don't do it.
Yeah, but I think this year they will because of Shohei.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like you have to factor in like how many additional people are actually watching your games, dude. And I don't know that actual number.
Yeah, but now they're gonna have a whole country watching them.
Right.
So whatever they're not gonna have in the States, they're gonna make up in Japan.
Right.
So why would the Dodgers agree to give up making all their TV money plus whatever they're gonna get from the Japan money?
Because there will be more people available to watch their games under the Amazon thing.
Yeah, but they don't unless they get the same type of deal they got with Spectrum. That deal was too good. They're not gonna relent on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for Major League Baseball, but they're going to have to figure out whether those big market teams get a bigger percentage of the money or something. Like they're going to have to figure it out because it's part of what's holding the game back, dude. And like NHL, you know, they went to ESPN Plus and look how many more viewers they had in 2 years.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to tell these owners, especially teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees, how to run their
Well, I mean, I don't blame them. That's
And
the holdup.
It is going to take a lot of money out of their pockets, but it's going to give other teams more money in their pockets, which is going to make for a competitive.
They don't give a fuck about other teams.
Yeah,
No,
they
absolutely,
only care
yeah,
about
no.
themselves.
I know, but they're going to look at it.
And they're not supposed to because at the end of the day, they're in the business of making sure the Dodgers are in the best financial situation, not the other teams that they got to compete against.
Kinda. They do have the best interest of Major League Baseball because you still need Major League Baseball.
That's fine, but even if it's a different. The Dodgers got California, so
because what is good for Major League Baseball is good for all 30 Major League Baseball teams.
yeah. But a team that's telling the team that they give up their 100% rights that they own from their TV deal.
No, they would still have their TV deal. The thing is, though, is that people like Amazon, you'd be able to watch your games on Amazon.
Well, that means Amazon would have to work out a deal with they would have to work out a deal with the teams that own their own networks then.
Precisely.
Yeah, and it'd probably be blacked out.
No, because that's what Amazon doesn't want.
Blackout in local markets.
Yeah. That's what Major League Baseball doesn't want.
But that would mean Amazon would have to pay those teams to stream those games. I don't think it would. They would still make the same. Because they're not giving up their TV deal, so they would have to basically just come to an agreement on how many games that Amazon can stream.
Or they would just have to figure something out to the point where Amazon can stream the games as well. Because ultimately people would stop paying for Spectrum and they would just get Amazon. Although Spectrum is the owner of the internet in LA, so at least they're paying for that. But yeah, it's a lot of financial things to work out, and the only reason why it's like that is because you have the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets, and the Cubs, and I think the Blue Jays as well that own their own TV station. Obviously, they don't want to give up those rights because that's how they make money.
They're not doing that. The Dodgers, that TV money is too good for them to give up.
Yeah, but it could be really good with Amazon too. I don't.
Yes.
I'm not.
Amazon, but whatever Amazon want to pay, we had, but plus they have to work it out with Spectrum too, because Spectrum will have to get cut in on the deal.
Exactly. That's the thing that I'm obviously.
Well, didn't you just say the Dodgers own Spectrum?
No,
they own their channel, like their own TV station.
But it's broadcasted by Spectrum.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't own Spectrum. Spectrum is a fucking $100+ billion company. So
yeah, it's like the Yankees own Yes Network, the Mets own whatever the fuck the Mets. What is the Mets network? Oh, MSN.
Yeah. So hopefully they can work out a deal, but damn, it's a lot of moving parts.
Yep. But at this point, like Diamond Sports Group, they fucking they're going bankrupt, dude. Like, they couldn't even pay the Padres last year to broadcast their game, so the Padres ended up being on just MLB Network. So it's like, that's $60 million plus that the Padres aren't getting. So now they have to like fucking readjust their books for
And
that
trade
shit.
Juan Soto.
Yep. And all these other teams, that's why we have all these free agents, because you got teams that don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Like, it could be the middle of the season and fucking Diamond Sports Group can't pay them. And then boom, now they're fucking out $60 million or whatever the fuck their contract is, right? So that's why we're seeing a lot of these free agents still on the market.
All right, so you've got NBC Sports has Chicago White Sox, Oakland, Philly, and San Francisco.
Yep.
You have the Fenway Sports Group, which
Boston. That's the other one.
Boston
That's the other one.
and Pittsburgh. Marquee Sports Network, which is the Cubs. Mid-Atlantic Sports Network, which is Baltimore and Washington. Root Sports, which is Seattle. Space City Home Network, which is Houston. Spectrum Sportsnet LA, the Dodgers. Sportsnet New York is the Mets.
The Mets, Sportsnet New York, that's what it is.
Yes, this is the Yankees. Sportsnet is Toronto, and MLB owns Arizona, Colorado, and San Diego.
Yeah. So Colorado, San Diego, and Arizona, they were Diamond Sports Group. Diamond Sports Group couldn't afford to pay them.
Valley is Atlanta, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas City, Angels, Miami, Milwaukee, Minnesota, St. Louis, Tampa Bay, and Texas.
Yep. And you saw Milwaukee had a sell off. So they got to MLB got to figure this TV thing out, dude. They got to do it fucking very quickly. So, Ben, Google Diamond Sports Group and Amazon. What exactly did Amazon do? Did they buy the rights to all of Diamond Sports Group's content, or are they talking about doing it? Because I remember
Major League rejects Amazon's $150 million bid.
So they were going to buy Diamond Sports Group's teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Major League Baseball rejects Amazon's $150 million bid to bail out bankrupt Diamond Sports.
Why? Does it say?
Manfred called foul on the proposal ahead of bankruptcy. They rejected it because Amazon wanted a streaming deal for more than 1 year.
Yep. Well, why wouldn't you give it to him?
Manfred said, if you want a digital deal, it will be with us, not Diamond.
Oh, okay. So they were just going to stream all of Diamond Sports Group.
Yeah, and MLB wanted their share.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. That makes more sense.
Diamond was trying to renegotiate with baseball to get its digital rights on a long-term basis so that they could bring in Amazon.
But the thing is, Major League Baseball wants every game streamed, not just Diamond Sports Group.
Mm-hmm.
That's the holdup. That's where things are fucked up. That makes more sense. But Major League Baseball got to figure it out, dude.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it's fucking causing a huge holdup for a lot of teams. And a lot of players aren't getting contracts because these teams don't know how much money they're going to actually have.
I think it's a little bit of both.
It's very interesting. Well, Kyle Bradish got hurt this week. So obviously...
Yes.
Obviously, the Orioles need a starter because he has a sprained UCL. They're saying that he's going to be good to go at some point during the season. We don't know when. It's indefinitely. But sprained UCLs always end up leading to Tommy John. So you got Blake Snell on the market. There's also talk that the Yankees are still interested in Blake Snell, but they want him at a short-term deal. At $35 million a year, he wants a 6 to 7 year deal. He's still holding out on that. So we talked about this before. Obviously, injuries are going to happen during spring training, and now these guys are going to be sitting there able to sign. When do you think some of these guys are going to sign? The Matt Chapmans, the Blake Snells, the who else is a free agent? Cody Bellinger,
Liam Hendricks, Ryu,
Jordan
Pollock,
Montgomery's still a
Segura,
free agent.
Matt Chapman. Why did my video just go away? Matt Chapman, Brantley, Clevenger, Woodruff.
Oh, Brantley retired.
Did he retire?
Yeah,
Okay.
Brantley retired. I mean, the biggest names left, though, are the Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell,
Cody
Matt
Bellinger,
Chapman, Cody Bellinger.
Matt Chapman, JD Martinez.
The other dudes, I think that they're going to end up taking, like, minor league deals and stuff. But at some point, like, especially with Kyle Bradish going down and the fact that, like, the Orioles not having signed Blake Snell or Jordan Montgomery tells me that they're really negotiating on a trade.
Mhm.
And a lot of people, like, immediately when the Bradish news came out, they were like, "Oh, Blake Snell's going to be a fucking Oriole." And it's like, dude, the Orioles don't want to commit long term to a dude that's 30.
Yeah.
Like, they have enough prospects to the point where, like, they can go out and trade for a Dylan Cease who's still under club control for 2 years and is much younger. Right?
Is it 2 years or is there only one now?
He has 2 more years left of control, and then he's a free agent. And then they're also interested in Jesus Luzardo as well, reportedly. So I think the Orioles are going out and they're looking at the trade market first and foremost before they have to go and sign a free agent such as Jordan Montgomery or Blake Snell, which I think is an option. I just don't think they want to give a long-term deal to either one of those guys. I think that's the holdup. So my question to both of you is, at what point do Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery say, you know what, I'm not going to get a long-term deal, I'm going to have to play on a short-term deal, and they just fucking wave the white flag and do that? Because multiple teams have made offers for both of these guys reportedly for short-term contracts, 3 years or less, but neither one is signed yet. At what point does it take that player? Do you think it takes right before the season starts when they finally start to panic and say, "Hey, I'm about to go into the season as a fucking free agent"? I mean, at what point do they sign?
Hopefully soon, because pitchers and catchers already reported. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're doing their work too. They're definitely staying in shape and stuff, but
you still want some camaraderie. You still want to be in there with your guys.
Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we even see somebody wait until the first month of the season.
oh, I mean, definitely, dude.
Because the injuries are going to happen.
Yep.
And some team's going to be desperate and they will pay that high contract that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Or the long term that they're looking for.
That was my thing too, Ben, is like, but the fact that, like, the Orioles just lost their second best starter, or projected second best starter, and neither one of these guys were even, or to our knowledge, haven't been contacted by the Orioles. I mean, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, they probably have been contacted by the Orioles at the beginning of the free agent market, and then probably again when free agency was middle of the pack and there was no budging there. And these GMs and owners, they're not gonna, it's their money, they're not gonna play that hard to get until it's a desperate situation.
Yeah.
Because the season hasn't started yet, it's not a desperate situation yet.
I think if the Orioles go into, like, middle of, because I mean, they're already saying John Means isn't going to be ready for opening day, so you're basically down 2 starters now at this point. So I mean, I do think that for the Orioles, it's definitely dire, because as of right now, they're heading into opening day, and their starting rotation is Corbin Burns, Dean Kramer, Grayson Rodriguez, and that's really it, because John Means and Bradish aren't going to pitch. So you're basically relying on, like, 2 minor leaguers who you aren't predicting to start. Maybe you throw Tyler Wells in there to start for the beginning of the year. But like I think it is time to panic if you're the Orioles. Like both those guys aren't going to be on your opening day roster. They know that. And as far as Bradish, he might not pitch the entire season. So they should definitely be panicking. Especially as a team that is as talented as them and should be competing for the fucking pennant.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't think Blake Snell or Montgomery, like, I think the Orioles have enough assets to go out and get a younger pitcher, whether that's a Dylan Cease, a Jesus Luzardo, maybe even the Mariners listen on Logan Gilbert. Because there was a lot of talk at the end of last year, beginning of the offseason, that the Mariners were open to trading Logan Gilbert if they were going to get an MLB-ready bat in return. The Orioles have that. Maybe they work a contract with Colton Cowser and Logan Gilbert, a trade. So I think it's more beneficial to the Orioles. However, they have to be prepared to the point where it's like Irv said, like, you want to get that pitcher in and ready. Like, if you can't strike a trade in the next 2 weeks, like, you got to sign one of those guys, bro. And what happens if one of those guys gets signed before then? Then you're out there and you're fucked.
They probably got trade for like a Jesus Luzardo or Dylan Cease.
Well, I think that's their first option. But what happens if they can't negotiate a trade and then Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery are signed by then? Then they're screwed. Then you're left with, like, who'd you say, Ben, is next on that list? Ryu?
Yep.
Buddy was hurt all last year, so you don't even know what the fuck you're gonna get out of him this year. He's nothing but like a fourth starter at best. So you're telling me you're going to go into the season with Corbin Burns, Grayson Rodriguez, and fucking Dean Kramer as your 1, 2, 3? Woo! Buddy, it's going to be a long year.
Urias is still available.
He's not signing. He'll only sign with the Braves, bro.
Brandon Woodruff is there.
But Woodruff, he had shoulder surgery, right? Like, he's not even going to pitch this year, I don't think.
Yeah, he's not pitching this year.
Kluber
retired.
Greinke.
Trevor Bauer's out there, I guess. They could go sign Trevor Bauer.
Johnny Cueto, Rich Hill, Odorizzi.
Yeah, but you're talking about a lot of 5 starters.
Absolutely. I'm going with the list of starters that are.
Yeah, I mean, one of them are going to get signed for sure.
Keller, Davies, Mondesi. Oh no, shortstop. Sorry, Danny Duffy.
I remember when Danny Duffy was like supposed to be the next big lefty.
The German Domingo Herman is still out there.
Oh, I did see that the Orioles were thinking about fucking signing that dude. Did see that. It's gonna be interesting.
I mean, there's a lot of 4 or 5s out there.
Yeah, and
Not
I think
too
those
many.
are. I think there's some inning eaters for sure, like that can help you, and as far as depth is concerned. But man, when you're the Orioles and your expectation is to win the pennant, and you fucking lose Kyle Bradish and end up signing a fucking Domingo Herman, like that's just
No, I agree with you there.
That's a little. I don't know about all that. That'll be interesting. All right, we got any best bets for tomorrow, fellas?
Here we go.
I haven't looked, so
Yeah, I'm not doing any hockey bets until goalies are announced.
All right, I got one best bet for tomorrow, and I got a couple leans. So my best bet is Iowa State +9. They're gonna be at Houston. Yes, I know Houston lost in Cedar City to Iowa State earlier in the year. However, 9 points is way too many. This game should be like 7.5. So at 9, I will take the dog +9. And then I also lean Virginia Tech -2.5 at home against Virginia. The home team has won this matchup for the last 4 years, so I like Tech there. And then I also like Texas -8 against Kansas State. I just think that Kansas State team just fucking sucks, dude. So I will continue to fade them. And then I also like Colgate -7.5 at Lafayette. So those are two leans. Colgate is not available on most books yet because it's considered an extra game. If you're at DK, you can get it. But if you can get it under 8, 7.5, I think that's a good play. And then leans Virginia Tech -2.5, Texas -8.
I'll go Oilers -1.5 tomorrow against Coyotes. Coyotes just played a really tough game today against Colorado. So they're on the back-to-back. They're going to be slow and tired. I think Oilers eat them fucking up. And I'm also going to bet that the New Jersey Devils have the tightest fucking jersey of the season that they wore out yesterday. So
the tightest jersey, like as in like tight or like
the coolest.
What does it look like?
It was the all reds with the blacks. Their outdoor jerseys yesterday.
Okay.
Oof.
Those Islander ones today were dope.
Islander ones today were super sick.
How many hockey games are there tomorrow?
Full slate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games.
Nice. I was gonna say, man, they better take advantage of it not having the NBA on for a few days. Not that anyone fucking watches the NBA anymore, anyways. We literally just talked about that. But
8
still,
games on Tuesday.
Sharks at home against the Knights.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It's going to be interesting. I leaned to over on that because the Knights play on Tuesday as well. So you're probably going to get the shittier goalie tomorrow compared to on Tuesday. I mean, they play Nashville on Tuesday. Nashville's still a lot better of a team than the Sharks. So, I mean, you're likely going to get Logan Thompson, who has been injured but is now off the injury list. But
So can someone explain to me how? Oh, never mind. Okay, I'm good. I figured that out.
What?
I forgot how the playoffs work because I know there's only like 2 conferences, so I was wondering if the top 4 in each division made it or what. But it's the top 3 are guaranteed, and then the 2 next best teams get the wild card.
Yep. I like how tomorrow's Sharks Golden Knights, the pick'em is the -1.5 +1.5.
It's crazy. Hold on, so currently the New Jersey Devils are out of the playoffs. So are the Islanders. So are the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but there's still 30, or what is it, 27 games left.
I think the Devils gonna make it.
Yeah,
they're too talented not to make it. They have been pretty banged up, though. They're getting healthier now, though.
I was just gonna say major injury issues there.
Yeah.
Damn, the West playoffs are basically a fucking wrap already. I mean, you got Nashville and Minnesota like kind of fighting, but it's crazy.
Seattle is gonna fight there too for that last spot.
Man, they're 4 points back. I mean, I guess it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but
there's still 27 games left.
You think someone 4 points back can still make it?
Oh yeah, easy.
Interesting.
If there were 7 games back, no, but there's literally 27 games still.
That's true. All right. We'll get out of here. We'll be back on Tuesday night. We'll talk some more Major League Baseball news and stuff. Are we starting the previews this week?
No, March 3rd.
March 3rd, that's right. All right. We have to do the show Tuesday this week because I will be heading to the Bay Area later on in the week, so gotta do Tuesday. So we'll be back Tuesday night. We're being brought to you by Sharps app, SHARPZ. Download it to your mobile device. Use it to track your bets. Become a better. Sharps app. Use promo code JORD517. It is free to download. Follow the podcast on Twitter, or the X Machine, whatever you call it, at @Taproom_sports. Follow myself at Jordan Rules TSP. Follow Irvin at Swervin Irvin TSP. You can follow us on Instagram at Taproom Sports Podcast. If you missed any of the show, you can download the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast fix. We'll be back on Tuesday. Have a blessed week. Let's go.